Hello, welcome to this mid-morning taste, late morning taste challenge. Sorry, late morning. I have two 40% alcohol Canadian blended whiskeys, 40% blended, which is typical for Canada, although you can get some single malt starting, pretty recently they started putting out some single malts. But here's premium Canadian. If it'll focus. Yeah, Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh boy, Winn-Dixie liquor. Excuse me, Winn-Dixie liquors. Well, I went to Winn-Dixie this morning at 6:56 actually. I wanted to see if they had any new beers that I wanted to try, and they had a sign not opening till 8, which was shocking because it used to be open 7 in the morning till 10 at night. And the lady said, that's the hours until we close down. When are you closing? March 22nd. I said, oh, wow. That huge store closing March 22nd. Well, I hated to hear that, but I can't control it. But they did say they were leaving Louisiana. And apparently they meant it. But yeah, so I used to go to Winn-Dixie and get all such great meat specials, usually on steak. But the dream is over. The dream is over. All right. Not to mention, buy one, get one free coffee. Now, Winn-Dixie was founded, they claim on their website 1925, but that was really one of the Winn or the Dixies that was founded in 25. 1955, Winn Grocery Store and Dixie Grocery merged to form Winn-Dixie, okay? So whatever they want to believe, but it's the Winn-Dixie company today. Now, they said they're going to be only in Florida by the end of 2026. So ain't my problem. I guess it's my problem since I can't go there after March 22nd. But they've been in my town since 1958. But I think after Walmart opened and started selling groceries, that kind of really hurt them bad. And they never could figure out how to deal with that. But have they been selling their private label liquor since 1955? It's possible. It is possible. It is possible. But I don't know. I remember as a child, 50 years ago, going to like a birthday party or family reunion, something like that. I can remember they would have Winn-Dixie liquor on the table because it was cheap and people would guzzle it, rum, gin, whiskey, bourbon, Canadian whiskey, so forth. But it used to be in glass bottles. Back in those days, it was glass, and they went to plastic probably in the late 80s, early 90s. But here's Master Distillers with a real wooden cap, a real cork, glass, not plastic. I'm not going to show the websites because it's not really that much to see. Walmart.com. I think Master Distillers Selection is made for Walmart. I can't prove it, but I believe it's probably a Walmart private label, like a little higher end private label as opposed to their Caliber, which is extremely low end, but good. Now, Winn-Dixie has this Canadian whiskey they had the bourbon for $15.99. I noticed that, but what are they selling the Canadian one for? When? Let's see. I was just on the website, driving me nuts. They had some good fried chicken over there. I'll tell you, they would fry it in their deli. Get that basket of it, that box. Walmart told me they just heat theirs up. It tastes like banquet fried chicken. That's probably what it is, frozen. Although it tasted good, but Winn-Dixie frying it fresh in the deli. I guess it's all coming to an end. Cash Saver doesn't have a deli. They're showing only 4 results for Canadian whiskey. Well, that's not accurate at all because Winn-Dixie sells like 25 different Canadian whiskeys, so something's wrong with this search. Let's see. Liquor and spirits. Here we go. Whiskey. Our brands. Yeah. I don't know. There's some kind of problem with their website. Winn-Dixie bourbon, $15.99. Winn-Dixie Scotch, $16.99. And Winn-Dixie Canadian, $13.99. Now, all they show is a photo of it. So it's nothing. It's a photo of that bottle. So there's no description. It just says from Wide World Importers for, but Wide World Importers is owned by the Sazerac Company, okay? It's bottled at Buffalo Trace. They're not going to say that, but that's where it's bottled. It's produced up in Canada by one of Sazerac's distilleries. This is produced, it says on the bottle, Collingwood Distillery, which is in Ontario, and it's owned by the Sazerac Company. I don't know when they bought it. It was a while back. And but they're both, and it says I.W.A. Distilling, which is also part of Sazerac. So they try to sort of distract you from knowing who it does it, because I guess they don't want you knowing it's Buffalo Trace. Now, this is just straight up gold, maybe a slight amber note. This is amber with a slight gold note. So the master distiller is a little darker. Have you ever thought about reviewing non-alcoholic beers? Well, I have actually. I think I did O'Doul's, Sharps, Cloth Fowler, Heineken non-alcoholic, and some more. But I did. They're just boring to me. They don't taste very nice. I think I did Old Milwaukee non-alcoholic, Bush non-alcoholic. I think I did Pabst Blue Ribbon non-alcoholic. They just taste. They don't taste good to me. Honestly, it's like something missing. I know the alcohol is missing, but it's just the way they do it. I don't know. It's something I don't like. I just don't like it, and I don't think they're very good. It's not that I don't personally like it. It's not that like personal preference. Sorry. It's not that I'm saying, oh, I just don't like it. No, I just don't think they're very good. I just don't think they come out properly. So no, I don't do those. I've done them, but I'm not doing them in the future. Not if I can help it. And I can help it. What's wrong with this lamp? There. Didn't want to work. Let's go to the other lamp. Now the kitten is behaving right now, but she was flying high and crazy this morning, disrupting the video, knocking over all my cans, really out of control. And I said, man, this morning I said, you want to come out the room? No, she didn't want to come out the room. I was going outside to do a beer review. I said, okay. And I was out there doing my review, and I came back in. She was scratching down there by the door, tearing up the carpet, pulling the carpet up like she's going to fit under the door, impossible. I said, you are becoming very disruptive and destructive, So I was very disturbed to see that carpet being top. Haha, I hear you. I stopped drinking a few years ago, and I think the Heinekens are okay, satisfying an urge. Well, if you like them, that's fine. I have had Heineken non-alcoholic, actually. But it's just not for me, and it's really not part of this channel. But I know athletic beer or athletic malt beverage is popular, the non-alcoholic athletic line, and I'm certainly not hostile toward the idea, and I'm not opposed to it. If people want to drink non-alcoholic products, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that at all. It's just not something I want to talk about or review. I'm not interested in it. But like I said, not opposed to it. Let's see. Yeah, not a whole lot happening on the nose here. kind of bland. This is the Winn-Dixie, and I know why, because I can smell that flavoring. And I was looking for Canadian whiskey regulations this morning. I could not find them. It was driving me nuts. I don't know why this is not coming up. Let's see if I can use this back door here. Maybe I could look at it this way. Government of Canada. Canadian whiskey. No, not coming up. It's driving me nuts. Here's something from January 12th of this month. Well, I give up. I give up. But I know what I read, and it said they could have natural flavors added, natural flavoring added. I'm pretty sure this is the Winn-Dixie. All right, let's go with the taste. Cheers. You see here, I get sweet corn, a lot of sugar, like sugar water, whiskey. I don't care what kind of whiskey it is, bourbon, Canadian, Irish, Scotch. It all tastes like sugar water to me. And I'm not going to go hog wild and crazy and stand in line at 5:30 in the morning to buy some allocated sugar water. This tastes like the same thing, but with some vanilla added or some kind of natural flavoring, such as I'm thinking vanilla. Well, I'll tell you what, for $13.99 for a huge handle of this, 1,750 milliliters, hard to beat. Although, like I said, March 22nd, they're out of my town. But that's too bad for me. But Walmart's got a brand that's $2 cheaper. $2.03 cheaper, in fact. And Walmart's probably one of the main reasons they're leaving this town. All right. So, it's not really that much of a regret. Master Distillers. I think they're trying to play off of Crown Royal, or we could say trying to mimic Crown Royal. Although I think Crown Royal is drier. I don't think it's as sweet as this. This is a little candy sweet. You say, well, could you tell? You might counterpoint me and say, well, could you tell it apart in a blind taste test? That's a very good question. I don't know. I think I'm going to try in about a week. So we'll see. I would hope so, because Crown Royal, if I buy a handle of Crown Royal, oh, well, if I buy a regular size bottle of Crown Royal, it's $25 as opposed to $14.96. So we would hope I could tell it apart. If not, then that means Crown Royal clearly loses in my booklet. Let's go over here with this taste. Yeah, flavoring. Not a bad flavor. I don't want this to be taken. 52 degrees still outside. And it's cold. I hate wintertime. I'm telling you, people told me, don't you hate summer? I say, no. I could survive without air conditioning, although I'd be sweaty and, it'd be sticky and sweaty. I wouldn't enjoy it. But I mean, I got to have the heat on in the winter. I got this heater going right now. Just get cold. And it's getting cloudy. Look at this. That's weird. It was clear. The sky was crystal clear. Now it's cloudy. Overcast. That means that's telling me humidity's returning. But then the cold front's on the way. I hate to hear it, or I hate to think about it. Let's see. No, nothing good is coming up here. Oh, this might be it. Found it. Finally, driving me crazy. Is driving crazy. So very crazy. This is the primary source. It's the Government of Canada website, canada.gov. According to the according to the Government of Canada, whiskey, such as malt whiskey, Scotch whiskey, Canadian whiskey, Canadian rye whiskey, Highland whiskey, bourbon whiskey, is a potable, that means you could drink it, it's suitable for drinking, alcoholic distillate, or a mixture of potable alcoholic distillates obtained from a mash of cereal grain or cereal grain products. Oh, like corn syrup instead of corn. Yes. Saccharified by the diastase of malt or by other enzymes, and fermented by the action of yeast or a mixture of yeast and other organisms, and may contain flavoring. Malt whiskey. Of course, that's going to be all malt. May contain flavoring. Canadian whiskey, this is the topic at hand, is a potable, meaning drinkable, alcoholic distillate or a mixture of potable alcoholic distillates obtained from a mash of cereal grain or cereal grain products. Get it? Corn or corn syrup. Ding, ding, ding. Saccharified by the diastase of malt or other enzymes, and fermented by the action of yeast or a mixture of yeast and other microorganisms, is aged in small wood, a bourbon barrel or whiskey barrel, for not less than 3 years. Possesses the aroma, taste, and character generally attributed to whiskey. Is manufactured in accordance with the requirements of the excise tax and regulations made thereunder. Is managed in Canada. Didn't say bottled, did it? Contains less than 40% alcohol by volume and may contain flavoring. There is your key notation. May contain flavoring. What kind of flavoring? They don't say. This is their newest regulation, okay, from 2025. Highland whiskey, distilled in Canada or Scotland. What? You can make Highland whiskey in Canada, some Highlands. So, okay, we won't go into all of that. I knew I was right. I knew I was right. Freestyle. The freestyle says, good to you, baller. I quit 7 years ago. I feel so much better now. Good luck to you. Oh, thank you. It's all, everybody's got a different composition, different body type, you know. I didn't even start drinking beer until February 1996. So we almost to 30 years next month. So if I woke up tomorrow and I didn't like it anymore, I'd stop it all of a sudden, be gone. But so far, you know, I like it. So yeah, a Crown Royal. I'm saying a Crown Royal mimic. No flavoring added, according to the label, but they could have flavoring. They don't have to add. They don't have to put that on the label. But I don't. I think Sazerac's pretty good about that. If they add flavoring, they'll say it. They'll just tell you we add flavoring. This one here. Yeah. Now the Master Distillers Selection probably get about a 90 out of 100. Like that high for that cheap. Yeah. Yeah. That high for that cheap. Get it? That high for that cheap, which is probably why this grocery chain is being chased out of Louisiana, Alabama, and I'm sorry, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, because Walmart runs the show. Now, 20 years from now, Walmart might be replaced. Maybe there'll be Sears grocery. You say Sears, they're going to make a comeback. You know, like might be a great comeback. Sears, the great comeback. I don't know about that. Sears Roebuck and Company, you know, but I used to go there quite a bit, and then things started to deteriorate. That was the place to go to get appliances, like no joke. Appliances like refrigerators, televisions, although my father didn't like the television. My grandmother did. My grandmother would buy their televisions. My father was like, oh, they're the worst. And my grandmother would say, they're not bad, Ronnie. They're not bad. You're wrong. And I didn't get into the argument. But I've got a Sears. What's their brand for their? They used to have a brand for their washing machine and dryers. It was really famous, you know. But I have one from 1990. I didn't say 2020 or 20000. 1990, 36 years ago. A washing machine and dryer. Washing machine and dryer. Still working. Now, if it quit tomorrow, would I be shocked? I wouldn't be shocked. I'm shocked that it's still working. I think they call it Kenmore something. I know their tools were famous. Craftsman, their tools like socket wrenches and screwdrivers, Craftsman. They had the best guarantee in the world. They said their tools would never fail. You could buy a Craftsman socket wrench in 1937 and bring it back in 1997 and say, this thing doesn't crank right. Oh, we'll give you a new one. They just exchange it. I don't have my receipt. Oh, we don't care. So like they had like, I know that Sears had like the greatest warranty ever on their Craftsman tools. And in fact, when Sears started to fold up, when they started to go under, somebody bought Craftsman. But I don't know if now their auto repair was dodgy. You know, they got in trouble for scamming people, like telling them that they needed a repair and they didn't really. Some kind of scandal with that. I remember that. But that was really at the beginning of the downfall. But I just remember that they said Craftsman was the best tools, like hammers, screwdrivers, socket wrench in the world. I just remember that. I used to be able to buy motorcycles from Sears. I knew a man that lived in my neighborhood. He's still alive. He had 2 motorbikes, like, motorcycles. He bought at Sears. He used to go out into the jungles, into the woods, hunting. They used to sell an automobile for like about 3 years. Sears Allstate. They call it a Sears Allstate automobile. I think it was probably made by, like Studebaker or somebody, but you could order it. You could, like, go to Sears and order a car. Like, very basic vehicle. But you know how some people are. They'll buy the most basic thing if it's cheap. But actually, these pants are from Sears. These blue jeans are from Sears. And I bought these in 2012, and they were $12.99, and they still. You don't remember the Mike Douglas show? Okay, old technology just works now. You have heaters that require a Wi-Fi connection. Right, the old thing, you just plug them in. Like, why is better more complicated? People say, oh, it's better now. You could look on your phone and get the list. Yeah, but you could look on a piece of paper and get a list. Like, people say, here's the list of all the beers. You could look on a piece of paper. Like, it's just on a piece of paper you look. Oh, Harpoon IPA. Okay. But now you say, it's better now because you can look it up on the phone. Well, I mean, it takes longer. Doesn't work sometimes. It didn't really come up. Why it doesn't come up? Well, it's connection problems. It's in a warehouse. You're inside a metal building. You got to go outside. But it worked. It's better. It's more technology. It's more technological. People used to go on road trips and they would get a map. They would get a map, a road atlas when they would go on a road trip. You get the current road atlas. And you could just look at it and say, oh, the road goes there. Oh, there it is. Okay, the road goes there. But I know somebody, she says, I use my smartphone. I'm not stupid. I'm up to date. And she was in another town. This is a person I know very well. She said, I was in another town and they told me to go over this bridge. Talking about the phone. Go over this bridge. Go over this bridge. Well, she got to the bridge and they had a sign. Bridge closed. It was demolished. It was like out of service. It had been condemned. And the app, she was on the app and kept telling her, go over the bridge, go over the bridge, go over the bridge, go over the bridge. She's like, I cannot go over the bridge. It's closed. Then she panicked, like, where do I go? Where do I go? I was like, you don't have an awareness of where you are? Oh, no, I just followed the app. 5 years ago, I was in New York City with James P. Madonna. And he had this app on his phone. It said, go back. I said, why would I go back? It said you have to take the not the Brooklyn Bridge. It was called the it's a bridge that goes to Queens. It's called the West something bridge. It was no charge. You didn't have to pay for it. What's the name of that bridge? But anyway, it was saying turn around and go over the bridge. I said, why would I go over that bridge to Brooklyn when I'm trying to go to New Jersey? He's like, well, that's what the app says. I said, yeah, but we're going east. And so they had streets like Broome Street, Broome, or whatever. We're trying to get to the Holland Tunnel. I said, man, forget the app. I told him, I said, forget the app. That's when I had the Dodge Ram. I said, I'm going east. I don't care what that thing says. I'm going east. I'll get to the tunnel. And I went, and we got lost. I had to go around. And I said, it said Holland Tunnel. It had a sign. I said, I'm going by the sign. Went into the tunnel, back to New Jersey. I said, I told him, I don't know what's going on with that app. but I'll never follow it because I know east from west, and I'm not going west to go to New Jersey if it's telling me to go to Brooklyn. And then we got on the road and went by his house. I let him off, and I went to the hotel in Pennsylvania. I was so tired. I was like 2 in the morning when I got there. It was like a nightmare. But anyway, that's a story for another video. The tropical storm hitting. Oh Lord, that was in July of 2021. But just an example, of giving bad advice. Just read where FX Matt Brewing acquired Flying Dog. Says Craft Beer Tastic. Oh yeah, really? I'm not shocked because I know Flying Dog with all their edgy, they're edgy. We're edgy. We're artistic. They had been going downhill for a few years now, many years actually, and they kind of went defunct. I think they didn't like actually go out of business, but they kind of practically went out of business. And they were from Baltimore, right? Maryland, I think. But they FX Mac, yeah. I believe that because I think Flying Dog was flying low. It was like Ozzy Osbourne in reverse, flying low again. Yeah, they went down. They went down, 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 boogie down, 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 boogie down. Frederick, Maryland, yeah. I've been to Maryland so many times. So, final assessment. Is the Master Distillers better than the Canadian, premium Canadian from Winn-Dixie? Well, it's better if you want to get really particular about it. It's like it's better because this little distinctive little thing. Okay, but is it better when you consider everything, like the price? You know, I don't really know about that. Honestly, I can't really say that. Like I'm sitting here like all emotive, about Winn-Dixie's closed and I'm so hurt, but it's happening, right? So, like you say, well, I live in St. Augustine, Florida. They're going to keep Winn-Dixie here. What are you talking about? Okay, so you live there, or you can get Winn-Dixie up until 2026, 27, 28, and then they probably go out of business by then. But so yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not contending with that. Yeah, I would say get the Winn-Dixie. Is it worse? It's a little bit worse. It's not really quite as good. But considering you can get a handle for $13.99 and you can pay $14.96 for that, we're talking about really low prices right now. We're talking about really low prices. But still, if you want to get techno, this is a regular size. It looks big, right? The bottle looks big, but it's really $7.50. If you can get this for $14.96, but you can get this for $13.99, like literally I can drive right there 1 mile away. I think it's actually not a mile. It's like 0.8 of a mile. And I can get this for $13.99. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Winn-Dixie if I'm trying to be utilitarian about it. So, I mean, I know there's like this like angst in your pants when I do this because I'm like all like disturbed about Winn-Dixie leaving. I'm gonna get over it. I will get over it. I will get over it. Maybe. Like Alice Cooper said, pain. Your pain. But for real, I'm still trying to get over the Beatles breaking up. But um, anyway, bye bye, baby. Bye bye in about 10 years. That's going to really last me a long time. But yeah, so I'll give a slight edge to the Winn-Dixie with all things considered: price, flavor, overall quality. Overall quality, if you want to get just totally specific, the Master Distillers wins, but not enough to justify the price difference. This is my thinking on it. So we'll give the win to Winn-Dixie. Can you believe it? Winn-Dixie. And then, I have Grand Legacy coming up next from my enemies at CVS Pharmacy. My enemies. They are my enemies, but you should love your enemies. Jesus said, love your enemies. At CVS Pharmacy. But they got rid of that brand. They got rid of the whole line. They got rid of it. They abandoned it. They actually abandoned the trademark. They didn't get rid of it. They abandoned it. Grand Legacy. And it was acquired by Casey's, who was probably able to negotiate a very good deal on it. Casey's convenience store of many Midwestern states, not including Louisiana, unfortunately. Grand Legacy Canadian blended whiskey with natural flavors, of course. Yeah, I'm going to bring that in Saturday, probably. Yeah, Saturday, maybe Sunday. Will it beat the Master Distillers? Well, I don't know. That's a difficult problem because I don't know. Casey's website doesn't show the product. The closest Casey's to me is probably Northern Arkansas, so I can't really research it. But it's probably, similar to the Winn-Dixie. It's probably comparable on price level. So, yeah. All right. Well, cheers to Master Distillers. Will I see this 10 years from now? I doubt it. But then there's Caliber going strong after 22 years. So what do you know? All right. Y'all take care now. And I'll see y'all soon for another. Oh, what's coming up? Tomorrow evening at 6:30 Eastern. 6:30 Eastern. We have Fandango Friday. Any liquor or liqueur. And I think I have to make a real strong effort to bring. I know what I'm going to bring. No strong effort. I'm going to bring taro rum. Yeah. Okay. I'll bring in taro rum. Pretty good product, actually. A pretty good product, in fact. If you ever see taro and it seems very cheap and you're like, oh no, that's too cheap. It's going to taste like trash. No, it does not taste like trash. It tastes like sugarcane stalks. All right. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.